10 Angel Share clones and alternatives compared in one video. Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content, and today's video, the video that I've prepared today, won't be exactly a fragrance battle, but it will be a comparison between 10 alternatives and clones of one very famous fragrance that turned out to be very popular clone fragrance. That fragrance is called Kilian's Angel Share. Now, again, this won't be exactly a fragrance battle. I'm going to show you the clones and alternatives, and also at the end of the video I'm going to tell you which ones are my favorite ones, which one gets the closest to the original fragrance in my opinion, which one have the highest quality and the best performance. And the first few fragrances that I'm going to talk about won't be direct clones to Angel Share, but rather the alternatives. And let's start with the one fragrance that probably sparked all that interest, cloning interest of Angel Share. It comes from the brand of Lattafa, and it's called Khamrah. This is the OG Khamrah. Unfortunately, that metal part up front here has fallen off. I have to glue it back on. I'm sorry about this, but you know, that's a little bit of an insight about the quality when it comes to packaging and detailing. But the OG Khamrah is probably the first fragrance that came out and that smelled very similar to Angel Share, and the one that actually sparkled all the interest when it comes to clones of Angel Share. Although this is not a clone of Angel Share, this is rather a clone of Sava from Giza, but it smells quite similar to Angel Share. Basically what you get here is you know, Angel Share's DNA, but minus the strong boozy note, the strong cognac note of the original fragrance from Kilian's. This one maybe has a hint of booziness, but it's not the main note in the opening or in the fragrance itself, unlike Angel Share. Other than that, it has this very similar scent profile that relies on a lot of sweet notes, some spices, some oats. You get vanillic sweetness, you get ambery sweetness, you get dates, you get praline. It's a very sweet fragrance that when it came out basically became instantly super popular, one of the most popular fragrances from Lattafa, and to this day remains one of their best sellers. It's a little bit more expensive, but the scent itself has really nice quality, superb performance and projection, and also perfectly unisex. So it's a great fragrance, but again, this is not a straight up clone of Angel Share. This is more like an alternative, and this is the one that actually started everything in my opinion. Let's move on to another one of those alternatives for Angel Share, and it's the flanker to the OG Khamrah, which is called Khamrah Qahwa. This is very similar to the OG Khamrah, but this one has an added note of coffee, which to my nose makes it even more intense, especially in the opening, even stronger projecting in my experience. Other than that, it's super similar to the original Khamrah. Longevity wise they're very similar, but in my experience Qahwa has been a little bit stronger in the opening thanks to that coffee note, and also actually makes the whole scent profile a little bit more interesting in my opinion, because it's not only down to the sweetness, you also get an interesting coffee note. Again, superb offering from Lattafa, but this one doesn't seem to get as much attention as the OG Khamrah, but to be honest actually I prefer Qahwa over Khamrah. The next one comes from the brand of French Avenue, and it's called Raw Blend Nero. And again, this is very similar to Sava from Giza and very similar to OG Khamrah. But what Fragrance World have done with the scent is making it even stronger, even sweeter, even more intense, and pretty much making it a beast of a performer. Very similar to the OG Khamrah, but just more intense and just longer lasting, stronger projecting. Again, a pretty beastie fragrance. Quality is pretty much on par with the OG Khamrah. The scent is pretty much almost exactly the same, but you get better performance, and for that this is a great option, a great alternative of Angel Share, but not a straight up clone. But it's a great fragrance actually on its own. So this is the next alternative, and the fourth alternative that I'm going to give you is one lesser known alternative. It comes from the brand of Wataniah, and it's called Hayat. Now this is like a cheaper version of the OG Khamrah and Sava from Giza. Basically, again, very similar scent profile, but just slightly lighter, slightly less sweet and less performing version of Khamrah. But on its own, it's actually a nice fragrance, performance-wise still pretty good. I've been easily getting 8 hours of performance out of it. And because it's slightly lighter, in my opinion, this is a little bit more feminine leaning compared to the OG Khamrah and to Raw Blend Nero and Khamrah Qahwa. But on its own, again, another very good option for those of you who are looking for something done in a similar style to Sava, to the OG Khamrah, and to Angel Share as well. And the best thing is that this is very inexpensive. This costs about half the price of Khamrah, so it's a great option for those of you who want to experience this scent profile but for the least amount of money. Okay, we're done with the alternatives. Now let's move on to a category that will contain two fragrances, and they feel somewhere in between. They feel somewhere in between the OG Angel Share, and they feel somewhere in between Lattafa Khamrah, because they actually have a slightly stronger boozy note in them, but still not as strong as the original one. The first such fragrance is from Zimaya, and it's called Sharaf Blend, and this fragrance is to this day, just like the OG Khamrah, remains a very popular choice, and actually it's a very good fragrance, and I've been enjoying this one since the first day that I got it. It has slightly stronger boozy note compared to Khamrah, not as strong as you get with Angel Share. This feels a little bit more spicy as well, but it offers great quality. It's slightly closer to Angel Share than Khamrah and the other ones that I've started with this video. It offers great performance, pretty beastly, strong projection, very nice quality, very good presentation, very impressive looking presentation, and all that for a very affordable price. And to this day, this probably remains the most popular fragrance from the brand of Zimaya, and it's a great choice for those of you who are looking for an alternative or a clone of Angel Share. The other one is a recent release from the brand of Paris Corner, which also had to do sort of an Angel Share clone. It's part of the Mawj line, and it's called Cognac Blaze, and this one feels like a mix of Khamrah Qahwa, because it has a strong coffee note, and also Angel Share, because it has quite a bit of a booziness as well. Again, not as boozy as the original fragrance, but still has quite a strong boozy note. Also has stronger coffee note than Qahwa itself, and it's been a very interesting and very sort of a surprisingly good fragrance from the brand of Paris Corner. I've been enjoying this one quite a lot because it has very nice quality. It's a real sleeper, and just like Hayat from Wataniah, doesn't get enough recognition and the recognition that it actually deserves. Quality is superb, again, very nice presentation, very good performance, maybe slightly less compared to Sharaf Blend and Khamrah and Raw Blend Nero, but still very strong, about 89 hours, nice projection, and a very affordable price. All around, I think this is a sleeper, and it's a very good alternative for Angel Share. And now let's move on to the actual straight up clones of Angel Share. There are a total of 4 that I'm going to show you. The first one actually comes from the brand of Fragrance World again, and it's called Cocktail Intense. This was, I think, their first take at an Angel Share clone. Now, this is like a slightly more mellow, slightly softer version of Angel Share, because it has a cognac note, but it's toned down a little bit compared to the original fragrance. Also, it's not super strong when it comes to performance, although it's a very decently performing fragrance, and to this day remains a great cheap, inexpensive options for those of you who are looking for an Angel Share clone. But it doesn't get super close to the original, again, mainly because of the slightly toned down cognac note. Still though, a very nice, very pleasant fragrance, perfectly unisex, just like pretty much anything else featured in today's video. Performance wise, you're looking at probably around 7 to 8 hours of performance, moderate projection, but the best thing out of all is that this is very inexpensive. To this day, I think it costs somewhere around about 25 euros, $25, and it's a very good inexpensive option. But probably out of the clones that I'm going to show you, feels the furthest away along with another one that I'm going to show you just now, which comes from the brand of Arabiat Prestige, and it's called Aariz Intense. Just like Cocktail Intense, this one has a boozy note, but not nearly as strong as you get with the original fragrance. But the other things that you get in here, you get almost the same amount of sweetness as the original fragrance, maybe feeling a little bit more spicy in the opening, but you also get superb quality here. The presentation is a lot better compared to Cocktail Intense. You get pressurized sprayer, you get stronger performance, longer lasting fragrance that projects better, and it's just a higher quality alternative for Cocktail Intense, and I've been really impressed with you know, the brand of Arabiat Prestige, because they seem to have some real bangers, and Aariz Intense is probably one of those you know, great bangers from that brand. The only problem with this fragrance is that it's a little bit more expensive, and I think this is the most expensive fragrance in today's video. Usually costs somewhere between 50 to 60 euros, which makes it you know, double the price of some of the options that I already gave you, but it has great quality and great performance. Now moving on to the two scents that I have in my collection that I've tried and that seem to feel the closest to the original one. The first one comes from Maison Alhambra, and it's called Kismet Angel. And up until I experienced the one that I'm going to show you the last, this seemed to have the closest opening to the original fragrance that I've tried out of all clones. You get again very similar scent profile to the original, almost identical. You get quite a strong boozy note in the opening. Again, those feels slightly less strong cognac note, but getting very close. On the dry down, maybe lacks a bit of the sweetness and the intensity of the original fragrance, and also the quality is not superb. But again, this is, you know, still feels very similar. Nowadays, I think this has a different name. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, the name nowadays. And that leads me to the last fragrance that I'm going to feature in today's video. Again, from Fragrance World and French Avenue, and it's called Royal Blend, and it's a sister fragrance to Royal Blend Nero. And this is the one fragrance in my collection that to my nose smells most similar to the original fragrance, almost identical. You get a very strong cognac note in the opening, you get pretty much the same amount of sweetness as the original fragrance, you get superb performance, very strong fragrance, probably one of the strongest one featured in today's video, great projection, perfectly unisex, great presentation, and all that for a reasonable price. This costs somewhere between 35 to 40 euros. So this, to my nose, is the one that actually feels the closest to the original fragrance that I have tried and I have in my collection. And now, instead of final words, I'm going to give you a few quick rankings. First of all, I'm going to rank them based on the quality. For me, when it comes to quality, the best quality ones in here are Aariz Intense, the two Royal Blends, also the OG Khamrah, and Khamrah Qahwa as well, and these two from you know, Paris Corner, Mawj, Cognac Blaze, and Sharaf blend. But these four here, you know, Aariz Intense, the two Royal Blends, the two Khamrahs, actually feel to my nose as having the best quality out of all of them. You know, when it comes to the quality of the scent. When it comes to performance, for me, the ranking will be something like this. The strongest fragrance in here, the longest lasting, the strongest projecting will be Royal Blend Nero. This is an absolute beast in my opinion. Then next it will be Royal Blend and Cognac and Aariz Intense, and also the Khamrahs along with the Zimaya Sharaf the blend. These here are pretty much on par when it comes to performance, maybe slightly better from the Royal Blend, and Royal Blend Nero is again an absolute beast when it comes to you know, the performance. And if I have to rank them based on my personal opinion, my personal liking, how I like them, for me it will be like this: Royal Blend, the OG Royal Blend, because this is the closest one to the original fragrance. Then it will be Aariz Intense along with Sharaf blend and Khamrah Qahwa. Then it will be Royal Blend Nero. It's not a bad fragrance, it's just so intense and so sweet that it actually can be a little bit challenging for some people, hard to wear. And also you know, Mawj Cognac Blaze as well. So guys, in today's video I showed you and I compared 10 clones and alternatives of Kilian's Angel Share. A mega video. I hope that you found this video interesting to watch. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.